we talked a little bit about his feelings on motivation in the workplace, and and how to bring that. And I got some interesting feedback.
Once you really have to get to work and you're working 60, 70 hours a week, it's nice to be able to really enjoy what you do, because otherwise it's brutal.
Once a week, Kevin and Allie McCrudden make their way to Islip MacArthur Airport to the LI News radio station to fulfill their need to motivate and inspire the lives of people through a radio show entitled Mr. and Mrs. Motivation. As co-hosts, the husband and wife team rely on their personal experiences to engage the listeners in the areas of marriage and divorce, as well as career advice and finances. For Kevin McCrudden, founder of National Motivation and Inspiration Day and owner of Motivate America, the name Mr. Motivation came naturally.
Mr. Motivation is something that I use in America's CMO, Chief Motivation Officer, is something that I use in my speaking business. And my wife and I were having a conversation, and she said, Kevin, I've looked, and I don't see any couples that actually do this, any sort of motivational, inspirational stuff. And I said, oh, that's interesting, And we had a conversation about what would it look like or what would it sound like if we created a program. And one morning over coffee, she just said, yeah, maybe Mr. and Mrs. Motivation. And that was it.
There are many couples out there that have daytime talk shows like Kelly and Michael. And I said to Kevin, there isn't a couple out there that are motivational couples, a real married couple. And we find ourselves very often sitting around the table in the kitchen with our friends, having conversations that perhaps they could be talking to a psychologist about, but they're talking to us about.
We did a great team building program there, and it really was about how to stay motivated, how to stay, focused.
And we have friends that say, you've helped me so much with my marriage. The two of you have, really been a staple in our lives. And I said, Kevin, maybe we can help other people and have this conversation and create a movement, that's talking about, motivating and inspiring couples, because it's not easy.
Hello and welcome back to Mr. and Mrs. Motivation. In the studio, 631-451-103.
Another one of the topics of discussion on the radio show is the challenges associated with raising children. With 3 children of their own, there's a consistent presence of Mr. Motivation in their home.
My older one, who's 26, we've had our battles and our challenges, but I think overall he would say, what, in the end, my dad's given me these messages about motivation and overcoming adversity. Our 2 younger ones would probably immediately say, oh yeah, he's Mr. Motivation, all right.
He is willing to talk to you no matter when or about what. And especially with the boys in the house, it's hard being a kid, and he really relates to the children, and it's very positive. I can't say that we're here, screaming motivation, but we do have a very positive household.
Motivation, inspiration is obviously the key to what it is that we do.
Admittingly, the content on their radio program is not meant to be a cure-all for relationships, but to help address the areas in need where they can motivate and to help overcome challenges.
We're addressing things that couples have to deal with all the time, and hopefully what we're doing is motivating and inspiring them to potentially resolve some of their challenges, address some of their challenges, overcome their challenges. And we've had a lot of great emails, a lot of great correspondence, a lot of great call-ins where we talk about things that people are really concerned about, and it's about trying to help build them up and help them become the very best they can be, and really address things that otherwise are bogging them down and making their lives more complicated.
It's been so much fun, and like I said, very rewarding, and we're very careful that we're not rehearsed, that when we create our clock, we're looking at it, we're not conversing about our clock, we're not bringing topics into it. We really want it to be fresh and interesting.
Although the show is in its infancy, Mr. and Mrs. Motivation foresee a larger listening audience.
The demographic may be 25 plus, but it'd be great to pick up some teenagers in the viewership, in the listenership. And I really believe that with creating a movement across the country, we can start to see some change. We need positive. We need motivation in our lives. And it's so important to have something positive in your life, whether you're looking forward to listening to us once a week, or maybe we'll be lucky enough to be on air or on the radio every day. Who knows? But that's really our goal. I mean, there's no secret here. We're just trying to do good.
we intend on making this both a TV show, a radio show, a web show. We want to syndicate it nationally and internationally possibly. We believe that this is a unique space, and we're a unique couple that really focus on trying to help people overcome their challenges.
For more on Mr. and Mrs. Motivation and their goal to motivate America, go to mrandmrsmotivation.com.